Okay, so to complete the front bodice sloper draft, please turn your books to page 40 and make sure you filled out all your measurements that you'll be using for this project, and we will go ahead and get started. Figure 1, they want us to draft a straight line, and we're going to label it A to B. This line needs to be our full length plus 1/8, so we decided it was 17 inches. So I'm going to draw a line that's 17 inches. I'm going to write A at the top and then B. Pull out this ruler. Now you guys should be using pencil. I just am worried pencil's not going to show up in my video, so I'm using a red ink, but please use pencil for this. So my ruler is 18 inches. I'm kind of lining it up against the little crosses to get a straight line. I'm starting at number 17. I'm going all the way to the top. Okay. Okay, I'm zoomed out so you can see the entire line. Up at the top, I'm going to write the letter A, and at the bottom, I'm going to write the letter B, and that takes care of step number 1. So the next little bullet point, we're gonna draw letters A to C, which is A, and then straight across C. There's a little corner inside of the corner. That means it's a perfect 90-degree angle. So we want to use our ruler to make sure it's perfectly straight. There's no like weird angle. It's straight 90 degrees. So okay, so the length of it needs to be, we did our math already, and we got 7 3/8 for size 6. I'm gonna use this ruler, and I'm gonna find 7 3/8. So all these boxes are 1/8. So here's 7, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna line that up on the line I drew between A and B, and I'm gonna make sure that line goes straight down my ruler. That way I know I'm definitely getting a 90-degree angle for this top line, and I go all the way to the end my ruler, because that would be 7 3/8. And I'm gonna mark that the letter C. Okay. Under that same bullet point, it says square 3 inches line down from C. So square is again a perfect 90-degree angle. That's why you see that corner in the illustration. So we're gonna go down just 3 inches. So I want to make sure it's squared. So you know, I could just line up my ruler and draw 3 inches down, but just to make sure that I'm squaring it perfectly, I'm hovering my ruler at the 1 inch line. So you can see that it's definitely squared. And then 1, 2, 3 inches would be at the 4. I would stop at 4 inches. Okay, so we got it squared. These are perfectly squared. They don't have me label that, so I'll just leave it. Okay, so our next bullet point, they want us to draw a line from letter B to D, straight up. So D is in between A and B, and we're using our center front length, which we figured out is 14 1/8 inch. So on my ruler, I find the number 14, and I go 1 box past it. There we are. 2 of these little lines, because the little lines are only 1/16 inch, and that way I can draw this line straight across here, and that's going to be D. Now in that same bullet point, they want us to mark and square out 4 inches. So I'm getting my 4 inches lined up. I can see the line coming from the top of the line and the bottom, so I know it's going to be perfectly squared, a 90-degree angle. Okay. Next, B to E. We're using the measurement, and we already did the math, so B to E is the bottom line here, and ours is going to be 9 3/4 inch. Okay, so we're squaring it again. Let's see here, 9 3/4. So here's 9 inches. And then I'm gonna do 3/4. Here's 1/2 inch, and in between here, so 2 more boxes, is 3/4 inch. So I'm gonna go down to the bottom, and I'm making sure my line is perfectly straight on the 9 3/4. And that's gonna have me square it off. And I'm gonna write the letter E. Okay. Under that same bullet point, it says square out from B and then square up 11 inches from E. So no matter what size, they want us to square up 11 inches. Okay. Great. Okay, so that takes care of figure 1. This is a little 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. So really your drafting should look like the illustration from the book at this point. We're moving on to figure 2 right now. Okay, so figure 2, they want us to draw the line B to G. So that is a big diagonal line. If you notice in the illustration, it looks like G is gonna hit this line that fell out of C. And they want G to touch the C line. So our math, it should be 17 1/8 inch. Okay, so let's figure out where that is on our ruler. So my ruler here is 17 inches, 1/8 is 1 box, or 2 of these little lines. So I'm putting the tip of my ruler where B is, and I'm just kind of pivoting it until it 17 1/8 touches the C line, and then my ruler's also touching B. So I'm gonna draw straight, oh no, it moved. Oh dear, let's try that again. Gotta hold that tighter, okay. Great, there's my line. I'm gonna write the letter G. Great, G is touching the C line. It's also 17 1/8 inch long, awesome. G to H, so here's G. Okay, so H is a little dot that's on this line we just drew. They want that distance to be 9 1/8 inch. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my ruler on this line I just drew, and now I'm gonna look for 9 1/8 inch, which is right here. So it's 2 of the little lines, 1 whole box. And you get to be labeled H. G to I, right here, this is gonna be our shoulder slope. So it looks like I is gonna hit the line in between A and C. And let's see here, G to I. So this length, this line here, needs to be 5 1/8 inch, okay? And it's supposed to intersect. So 5 1/8 inch. Okay. Dun, dun. So this is not going to be a perfect 90-degree angle. Rolling it down. Okay, so this is my 1/8 inch. I need to lift it up a little. There we go. Because 2 little lines equals 1/8 or 1 box. Okay, that line is 5 1/8 inch, so I can mark it I. Notice there's no right angle square thing because it's not a perfect right degree or 90-degree angle. Now they want us to square down from I. This is a 90, they want a 90-degree angle right there until it intersects with D. So that's pretty easy. I'll just line up my ruler so it's kind of going through this line, and then this would be a perfect 90-degree angle right there until it hits D. It doesn't look like I need to add a letter. Okay, now it's time to draw J to K. Okay, is 3 7/8 inch. It looks like J to K just goes through H, and it's a 90-degree angle from our center front line from A to B, and it's 3 7/8 inch. Okay, so here we go. So here's H, and I want to make sure, so 3 7/8, right? Okay, that's just 1 box below 4 7/8. So I'm lining that up so that it's perfectly straight on our center front, and then it's also going through H. So 1 inch, 2, 3, 3 inches, 3 1/2, all the way up to 7/8, and I'm gonna draw a straight line. I'm gonna write K, and then I will write J, and this is a 90-degree angle. Okay? D to L. So we have D. We're gonna mark another line on center front that's going to be L, and it's 1/2 of D to J. So we need to measure what is D to J. Okay, D to J in my case is 7 inches. What is 1/2? So it is 3.5 inches. You can use your calculator if you like. So I just need to go 3.5 right here, and I will write the letter L. L to M is across our, we have that measurement, 6 3/4. So L to M, and then it's also squared off, 90-degree angle. So L to M, sorry, 6 3/4. And I'm making sure my 6 3/4 line, this way the clear rollers are so great, straight down, so I know this is a 90-degree angle that I'm about to draw. Right here. That's M. And M, they want us to square a guideline up and down from M. They don't really say how much, but they want some kind of guideline squared. So I'm gonna get my ruler, I'm lining up L and M so it's straight, so that I know this next line I'm drawing is a perfect 90-degree angle right there. Okay, there's M. B to F, so here's B, there's F right here. So we need, we're trying to find F, it's gonna be on the line between B and E. And apparently it's just 3 inches away for me, according to my measurements. So 3 inches, putting a little mark, and I will say that's our letter F. Okay, oh, and then they want us to square straight down. Ooh, that's tricky. 3/16 inch, so I'm drawing a straight line that's only 3/16 inch. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there's a teeny little line that's only 3/16 inch. So catch that guy, don't skip over him. Okay, so that finishes up figure 2. Hopefully your draft looks something similar to the illustration in your textbook. Moving on to figure 3. We are now gonna draw a line from I to N. We already have I marked. And then we have the line, let's see here, E drawn up, and it looks like N is gonna fall on this line starting from I. And it's going to be 17 1/8 inch. Okay, so let's get that where I is. There's 17 1/8. For me, again, it says 2 little lines for 1/8. This is a long line. I hope my ruler doesn't slip while I'm trying to draw. Great. So now I can put N. N to O. So we're gonna add O also on this line that E started. And that's gonna be 8 1/8. Okay, so there's 1/8 inches, 1/8 inch going straight up, and I can just mark the letter O. N to P. P is outside of this E line over to the left. And it says mark 1 1/4 inch out from N. Okay, so there's 1 inch and 1/4. And there's no straight line, I'm just gonna mark the letter P. Okay. Talks about personal fit. You know what? It's week 1. Let's go easy on ourselves. Let's just draft this. We'll conduct a fitting later, so you don't need to read that right now. And so we're going to jump to O to P. That's our side length line directed O to P. Okay, so side length line is directed to P and ends when equal to N to O. So they want us to take the measurement of N to O and they want us to redraw that so it's actually an angle, because right now our side seam is straight up and down, but really when we wear this we want it at an angle. So our N to O was 8 1/8 inch. So they want basically O to P to be 8 1/8 inch. I'm just gonna draw a line to have that, O to P. Oops, I messed up with my ruler. Okay, there's O to P, and they want it to end at 8 1/8 inch. That's my side length. Okay, so it actually is gonna end right here where I did this little dash line. It's a little bit higher than that dot. Now draw a line from P to F. And remember how F dipped a little? It's a little low. It's not on the line from B to E. It's 3/16 below. Okay. Okay. That's the end of figure 3. Moving on to figure 4. We're going to draw P to Q, which is basically the other dart leg distance along our waist. I guess on that line, P to F that we drew, just mark for me 6.5 inches. So I will mark that right now. 6.5 is marked right there. And that's going to be Q. Dart legs. Draw a line from K to F. Now remember, F is a little bit lower, 3/16 below that line. K to F. And measure. So for me, from K to F, what do we have? Okay, I have 7 inches, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. I have 7 3/8 equals K to F. That's my dart leg. And they want me to label this R. Wait, nope, oops, I know I missed a step. Draw the dart leg from K to Q equal to the same length as K to F, and that will be R. So right now we have Q, but Q is not our accurate dart leg because our dart leg needs to be the same distance. Since we sew our 2 dart legs together, they need to be the same length. And right now K to F is 7 3/8. So we need our next dart leg, which is going to go through Q, to also be 7 3/8 inch. So I'm going to line it up, my ruler with Q and K. I'm just going to draw a straight line for right now, and then I need it to be 7 3/8 inch. There we are. That gets to be R. Okay, so our dart point, we're going to center 5/8 inch from our bust point, and then we got to redraw our dart legs from R and F. So again, right now, this is our bust point. And remember how on our notebook samples, we need to redraw the dart point. There's 1/2 inch, 5/8 is right here. And I will redraw that from R and to F. Okay. So there's our dart point versus bust point. Okay, cool. Now we're going to draw slight curve lines from B to F, which is right here. This is our waist. And from R to P. So we're finishing our waist right now. So you can grab a hip curve ruler if you like. You can also try to use your French ruler if you don't have a hip ruler at home. This is how I would use the French ruler. If I were to use this guy, I would probably do this actually. There we go. That works. And then B to F as well. A slight curve. And we can fix the curve during the fitting. Because when you wear this, you want it to be a parallel straight line while your model is wearing it. And we can mark that while she's wearing it and transfer that particular curve. Okay, now we're also going to draw, going to figure 5, we're drawing our armhole curve, touching G, M, and our squared out line. Oh, you know what, did we skip? I think under O, I don't know how I missed that, but under O, we were supposed to square out a line. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ruler, going down the side seam, and I'll just square it out a little bit. Okay, so now we want to draw our curve. We want to touch G and a little bit of M and our squared line. Great, I think this will work out. That looks good. And yeah, that's basically it. Okay. Oh, our neckline, I forgot about that. I to D. I to D as well. Kind of square this guy a little bit too. Okay, that looks good. Maybe a little bit more round actually. This is why it's good to have a pencil. Okay. Oh. So we're basically done with the front sloper. The last thing would be is to label our pattern piece with our name, the size, the date, how much to cut, all of that good stuff, so that we stay organized.